Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Dela's Voice Talk Show. I'm so excited about tonight's show. This may be the most important interview I've ever done. During these extreme times, we have so many important questions that we need to answer. And I've been waiting a long time to interview my next guest. So I'm very excited that she's here with us today. So please stop whatever it is you're doing and pay attention to these life saving information that you're about to hear. My guest is Paula De Candia. She is a registered professional homeopath. She's an active member of the Ontario Homeopathic Medical Association and a part of the board of directors and executive committee. Because of her incredible success in helping her clients experience dramatic improvements in their health and vitality, she's received the prestigious honor of being invited to the board of directors of Ontario Homeopathic College and HTSF Canada. On a personal note, she is a retired ballet dancer, but she still does that competitively. So help me welcome Paula De Candia on the show. Hi, Paula. Thank you for being here today.
Oh, hi, Dela. I'm amazing. Actually, a bit nervous. This is not something I usually do. It's one thing to professionally dance on stage, another to actually be interviewed. So thank you, Dela. Thank you so much for your introduction, and thank you for bringing me here. I'm looking forward to share with you and the world about the real pandemic being stress.
Well,
And
Paula, can I just say you're so beautiful? I mean, you're so beautiful on camera. I've never met you in person, but I'm so excited. I'm very hyped to speak to you tonight. So, okay, let's start by asking you this question: Why are we calling stress the real pandemic?
well, first of all, according to American Medical Association, not me, it's noted that stress is the basic cause of more than 60% of all human illness and disease.
I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and the three most harmful stresses we are all experiencing because of the COVID-19 are change, lack of control, and lack of expression. And in my opinion, there has never been a more important time to discuss this topic ever, because we've never faced these challenges.
You're so right.
So
Now
yeah,
we've been dealing with stress for a long time, but it just seems like now more than ever we're facing it right on.
yeah, and the challenge is that in that change, that we are in the middle of change, and people, we are all not comfortable with change. And right now we don't have an option. We lost our sense of what are we supposed to do now, right? We no control of anything we say or anything we do anymore, or we can't get out of the homes, in fact. The
In your opinion,
coronavirus has taken over, and they themselves a way to and the effects are upon oh gosh.
can you hear me, Paula?
Oh, can you back?
It's a little, our connection is a little iffy, like, so don't worry, you just keep talking, and I'm sure that it'll be fine on Facebook. But okay, so I did lose you there a little bit. Can you hear me? In fact, if people are watching on Facebook, I would appreciate a comment of how this is being broadcasted at the moment. Is this is the voice okay? Is the sound okay? Is the picture okay? If I can get some people commenting on this, that would be good. Paula, are you there?
No, the sound is off. I can't. I'm here, but I can't hear.
Oh, but you can hear me. Okay. Okay. Okay.
And
Good.
I
Good.
have my
So technology is great, but I think that a lot of people are using this platform to get their voice out there. So there's a lot of people using Facebook Live right now. That's why we're having trouble. But we'll do what we have to do, Paula. You're okay with that?
absolutely.
Okay, all right, great. Okay, so if you should lose me for some reason, just keep talking and it'll come back and it'll be just fine. As my teacher James McNeil says, everything is perfect and everything is improving. Okay. All right, so let's go back to stress, Paula. What does stress do to us?
Can you hear? God.
So I can't.
It's funny. I had in the point, but I can still hear you. It's interesting. Shall we try again?
Paula, can I have an idea? Are you using your phone right now? If you can call me, then I will put you on speaker and people can hear your voice. What do you think?
Shall I put just audio without video?
I don't know if that would
I don't.
help, but
I can't hear what you're saying.
so maybe you can call me on your, actually, maybe just do audio and let's see if that would work.
Let's see.
I think you just shut off your audio now. Okay, you're good. Just maybe shut off your camera.
My video?
Yes.
Okay, let me try.
Okay. Yeah, you did it. You did it for a second there. Yeah, perfect. Let's hear you, Paula.
Can you let now? I think I'm off the camera.
Yes, you are off the camera.
Oh my gosh.
But we can hear you, Paula. Okay, so
Wow. I would have never.
yeah, this is this that's the trouble with having so many people use this platform. It's okay. Paula, what about if you just call me on regular phone and I put you on speakerphone and people can hear you? Is that okay? Can you hear me?
Dela,
Yes.
I cannot hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Paula? Oh, okay. I'm going to try and call her. Hello?
Hi, Dela.
Hi, Paula. Okay. So I have you on speakerphone and people can hear you.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I wonder what's going on. I think it's late in the evening and probably majority of people are using all kinds of live streams, right?
Yes, it's very possible. Okay, so I'm going to ask people who are watching to let me know if they can hear you, okay? So
Okay.
can I, technology is fun. Yes, James, it is fun. Could you please let me know if you can hear Paula talking? Okay, my friend, go ahead.
Okay, so you said you have some other questions for me, right? We were talking about the fact that the stress is it's the basic cause of more than 60% of human illness and disease. And we are talking also about the fact that, just to paraphrase what I said, that we are all globally experiencing at this time all this change and lack of control and lack of expression, which are the three major negative stresses. And with that in mind, this pandemic called stress, it's really caused by uncontrolled circumstances, which we just talked about. The fact that we are in the middle of all these changes and the fact that things are so different and it's not really by our own personal choice. People are telling me that they feel they have lost control over everything that's familiar to them.
That's so true.
Yeah, so all these changes and the inability to feel we have some sense of control are opening us to this pandemic stress affecting our physiological system, our mental, emotional ability to cope with the challenges that we're facing. And we pretty much get into a fight, flight, freeze state, which is not conducive to health. To physiological system failure, it's impacting all our systems. We have about 14 in our body. Now, one of the most important, especially at this time, is the immune system.
It's so true, Paula. I hear it more and more that stress levels high stress levels can really affect our immune system.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. What happens is when we are stressed, the immune system ability to fight off antigens, which is one of its innate primary function, to make it short and sweet, it's very reduced. The ability to fight the viruses and the infections that are around us is reduced. So that leaves us vulnerable and susceptible to all these viruses and infections, especially of this coronavirus. Now, what's interesting is that studies are showing us that dehydration leads to higher cortisol level. That's the stress hormone, making it harder for us to deal with the everyday issues.
Paula, did you say dehydration?
Yes, dehydration.
Interesting.
Yeah, many people are unaware, and I wasn't even until I studied all this, that stress can cause dehydration, and dehydration can cause stress. And that leaves us
feeling dizzy or lightheaded, or, you know, we have a headache, we have a migraine, our skin ends up being dry and our lips, and we don't think much of it. You know, our heartbeat starts raising, you feel confused, you feel irritated. And all it takes, believe it or not, is one sip of pure water consistently throughout the day. And that immune system of ours is enhanced.
Wow. So something as simple as that, Paula, drinking water on a regular basis.
Yeah, if I could encourage you to take one thing out of it, the whole of our interview would be just that. Think from today on, water equals hydration. So at the sign of any discomfort or pain in your body, the first thing you do, drink water.
Amazing.
And you're surprised of how fast your headache will probably go away, your discomfort will go away, your confusion will go away.
Isn't that funny? Paula, I myself, I'm not into taking pills, but I see a lot of people that at the first sign of a minor headache, they pop a pill. And you're saying instead have a drink of water and wait a little bit and the headache might be gone.
Absolutely, absolutely. In most cases, you'll be surprised. All we need is water. All we need is water. Like, I don't know if you know, but our body is made 60% of water.
Yes.
So water is the major component of our body. Now, according to the Journal of Biological Chemistry, believe it or not, the brain and the heart together are 73% water. Now, no wonder we get confused, we get headaches, you know, we get heartbeat racing like crazy. We are out of breath, and we don't even know why.
Crazy. How much water is enough water, Paula?
That's a very good question, Dela. Now, the best way I can advise you on this is by reminding you to drink water consistently. Often people start with, if you are this weight or this height or this whatever, you drink, as per your weight. I disagree. The moment you feel thirsty, that's the first sign of dehydration. So we should not wait to feel thirsty. If we consistently throughout the day drink water, we will never get dehydrated. Now, remember, let's not count coffee, tea, juice, and pop as means to stay hydrated.
Right.
Those kinds of drinks dehydrate you more.
They don't count. Wine and beer, they don't count.
That's right. That's right. So people count. I had 2 coffees. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I had 2 cups of coffee today. I feel good. But they get dehydrated and they are not aware. It's just I've experienced myself. You're talking about the system failure, right? Like as in immune system failure, just from simply being dehydrated. I was going to tell you about a story from the time I was young.
Yeah, go ahead. I love stories, Paula.
Do you?
I love stories. Nothing like a story to give information to, actually, because we learn so much. Go ahead, please.
Wonderful. Well, yeah, we do learn a lot from our own personal stories, but also from other people's stories.
Yeah.
So, I'm actually a survivor of extreme circumstances. I was born in Romania, and when I was born, Romania was under a very rigid communist rules. I was really born fighting for my life. I had severe health issues. I wasn't even expected to make it. I wasn't even supposed to be born, actually. So from my earliest memories, health was an issue, and as a result, I decided to commit my life to help other people find the health and wellness and the love that they desire and to maintain their optimum health with all that I do. So, yeah, I wanted to share that with you.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Paula.
So, my pleasure, Dela. My pleasure. Thank you for Thank you for listening. Is the volume okay?
The volume's perfect. People are hearing you just fine. I'm just so sad that we can't have your beautiful face on camera. But we'll make that happen another time, perhaps with a different technology.
Absolutely.
So let's keep talking.
Absolutely. So let's just go now. As I said, there are three impacts of stress. Physiological system failure, which was discussing the impact on that to the immune system. Now, I wouldn't mind discussing the mental emotional distress that happens when we are under stress.
That's a big issue.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So what happens is when we experiencing sadness and fear and anger, we become irritated, we lack motivation, we have those feelings of loneliness, and we don't really know the cause. You know, we can't figure out what is going on. One must know that that's pretty much an indication that your mental emotional health is provoked by stress. It's driven into a distress. So let me give you an example. I remember a time when I felt all these emotions: fear, anger, anxiety, feelings of extreme loneliness, hopelessness. In fact, I was 5-year-old. And at that age, I was sent back to my mother, who actually, prior to my birth, tried to abort me. And honestly, I didn't know her until I was 5. So I was placed back in her home, and I was feeling all these negative emotions. You can possibly imagine every negative emotion you can imagine. And in this hopelessness state, we were having a good day. And at that moment, I was sitting with her and I was watching TV, and I saw these ballerinas swirling around in their white dresses. I closed my eyes, I took a deep breath, and I was imagining being part of these angels. For me, they weren't ballerinas, they were angels. And I kind of got lured in this magical dream, you know, and I started dreaming. I was dreaming to become a ballerina. But, you know, it was a ridiculous dream for me because I had a heart condition. I was born with a heart condition. I was born at, not sure if I mentioned it, I was born at 7 months, so 3 months earlier. And I was told that strenuous exercise is out of question. I could never do anything that's physically strenuous. I will not make it. I will die. But in the environment I was living in, I didn't feel I could survive. I was in so much pain. You know, I was away from my grandmother. She was the one that raised me. And I was in this woman's home that I was supposed to call mom. I was 5 and didn't know much. I couldn't control many things, right? But at that very moment, I had a glimpse of hope when I realized that my life would be worth living only if I could find strength and fearlessly do what I was told I couldn't do. So I decided I will dance, even if that would mean I will die, you know? I went for it. Now, I'm bringing this up, Dela, because most often when we experience all kinds of emotions that are negative, like confusion and anger and irritability, and we don't even know what's going on, like you say something, oh, you're so beautiful, and you just irrationally react to it and say, you know, like as if I was trying to kill you or something, you know? And in that moment, if we could remember when these emotions take over and we act so irrational or respond irrational, if we can just take one moment and take one deep breath, one deep, slow breath, so many things can change in that one split second. So the focus is on breathing. You know, we don't think often about, what do you mean breathing? We breathe, otherwise we will not be alive. I don't remember who said it, but I really like the way it said that. And it's true, actually. We can survive several weeks without food, several days without water. But without the air, only a few minutes. For thousands of years, people have used simple breathing exercises to relieve anxiety, to relieve stress, depression, even chronic pain. Have you noticed that when we breathe, when we are stressed or in different situations, we breathe differently?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, yeah, for example, when you're nervous, your breathing is shallow and it's fast.
Fast, yes.
Fast, right?
Yes.
So it seems like no one has to teach us how to breathe, though, because we involuntarily do it by nature, right? We do it. What's impacting our pattern of breathing and is changing it from that moment when we are born, which reminds me, the only people, the only humans that can actually breathe fully and totally the way we are supposed to are children up to 5 years of age.
Oh, interesting.
Well, think about right now in this pandemic, we are cooped in our home. We lack physical movement. We're spending our time mostly indoors on our couches or maybe kitchen chairs eating.
Yes.
So these patterns, right, of living are changing our patterns to breathe. We no longer think of breathing. We do it, but not deeply, not fully. So what's interesting is that stress hormones affect our respiratory and cardiovascular systems. Now, with that in mind, and this coronavirus that's around, if we just remind ourselves to do daily exercise of breathing, that alone will stimulate the function of our body on all levels, on mental, emotional, and physical.
Wow.
Yeah, so would you like to do a little exercise with me?
Absolutely, you know it.
So it's very simple. It can be done either standing, sitting, or laying down in whichever position you like. And I call this the full natural breathing. Because before you go into different types, there are many types of breathing out there, many types, for different reasons. But before we get into teaching or learning any other type of breathing, we have to learn how to full breathe, like fully breathe with all our awareness. So if you like, I will guide you through. So you can close your eyes or
Okay, I'm ready.
at least try and stay as relaxed as you can. And I'm going to count for your inhalation to 3, for your exhalation for 4. Now, when I reach the up of the 3, I'm going to ask you to hold your breath for a second and then exhale for 4 very slowly. So instead of doing it with you, I'm going to count so that way you can conduct your breathing and then not have to worry about the counting.
Okay, sounds good. People are going to do it with me too. Everybody who's watching, do this.
Inhale for 3, exhale for 4.
Okay.
Now, what's important is to just be aware of that breath, nothing else. So clear your mind, think of yourself, try and think of just one thing, breathing. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3. Pause for a second, hold your breath. And very slowly, 4, exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. start again. So when we inhale, we do it very slowly and controlled. And we allow our chest to expand. Then we hold the breath up at the top for 1 second or 2 seconds, whatever you can. And we slowly and very controlled exhale, now allowing our belly, our stomach area to expand this time. So in other words, I say inhale through your chest to the best of your abilities. Just notice the motion of your own chest expanding and contracting. And then exhaling through your belly and seeing or feeling, if you put your hand on your belly button, for example, you will feel that movement as you exhale. And if you feel your chest expanding on your inhale and your belly expanding on your exhale, you're doing it correctly. So we do it one more time.
Okay.
Let's go. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Hold your breath. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1.
Excellent.
How does that feel?
That's really nice. Paul, what does that do for us?
So by deliberately focusing on your breath and holding your breath, because we're doing it so consciously and so slow, we help improve the energy distribution to your body and enhance the functioning of all of your heart rhythm and increases oxygen level in your blood.
Which is good, because we need that.
Absolutely. We need that flow of energy. We need that flow of blood going through. And we need that for our body to function. We forget to breathe. Most often we don't think consciously of breathing. I don't know about you, but I didn't until I started meditation. Look, for example, look around. So many apps, so many things about meditation. All kinds of different style of breathing exercises are out there on Google Doctor. I call it Google Doctor.
Yes, Professor YouTube and Dr. Google, yes.
Yeah. So, in fact, look at Oprah and Deepak Chopra.
Yes.
They just released free meditation. What do they emphasize on?
Breathing.
The importance of very deep, slow inhalation and very deep, slow exhalation.
Yes.
You know, many of my patients, with just this advice alone, have had serious improvement in their health, and they have reduced their over-the-counter medication usage just by breathing.
Amazing. And to think that's something we do all the time without even thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't. We say, what do you mean breathe? I'm breathing. I'm alive. You know? Yeah, so of course, as I mentioned, there is, this is not everything that you can do for your body to function optimally, but it's something where you can actually start. Stay hydrated, take deep, slow breath, conscious breath, be aware of your breath, you know?
Paul, people want to know why you're not on camera, because they want to know why they can't see you. Because we had a little bit of technical difficulties. If you
for some reason, though I had you on my data, we were not able to communicate. We had so many intermittent stops from it's the technical problems. I would have loved to see you.
I think it's just that time of the day. I think a lot of people are using different social media outlets to put stuff on Facebook and YouTube. So we're it's okay. This gives me the excuse of asking you on here again, Paula.
I like it, and I'm getting used to it. So I may like it more than benching, you know.
Well, you certainly have so much knowledge to give. so far we talked about staying hydrated.
Yeah.
And deep breathing.
So we can ensure that the physiological systems are working, including the immune system, and breathing, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there is a lot more that I could do, and I actually do a full assessment for all my committed patients. And it's something that I do through my business. And it does take time, but whomever is interested, you know, I'm willing to have a phone consultation anytime. So just, how do we get in touch with you, Dela, with me?
Well, I have the email that people can connect with you, scrolling down the page here. It's HealWithPaula@gmail.com. Is that some people can email you with that email address, HealWithPaula@gmail.com? And you talked about an assessment that you are, so you do an assessment over the phone with people, and how does that assessment help people? What do you do through the assessment?
So yeah, when I work with patients, I start with the full assessment, and that will help me determine what the stage they are in with their health, right? How their immune system is functioning, how their mental, emotional states are. How are they dealing with this pandemic, even though they may not know it? Mm-hmm. They may need some help. It's very detailed. It's an assessment which is very valuable, mm-hmm. and I only charge $97. You may want to take advantage of that, you know, just to start with something, a simple assessment that seems simple, but it's very insightful, very insightful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That would be to let you know how you're doing with everything that's going on, right? Because a lot of times we may not know, like you mentioned, we may not know. We may feel certain physiological symptoms, but we don't actually know what's happening. We don't know why it's happening, right? Because it could be stress related, but we don't actually know.
Well, what happens, Dela, you're very right. You're very right. What happens is because we've been globally under so much stress for so many years, all these emotions and all these feelings are take over our lives such that we believe that they are just part of who we are. It's just the way it is. And some people may not even think much, for example, that they have a headache. They had it for so many years. They think it's just who they are. They just pop up a Tylenol or an Advil or a prescription medication, and that's the way it is. They don't think much of it. They don't even consider taking a sip of water instead of taking that pill. You know, they just don't think of it. So yeah, absolutely. So, you know, I'm actually thinking anyone that is interested in this assessment, since we talked about this assessment, and that will reveal a lot more in-depth details about how you are, how you're functioning in these moments, right? Especially in these critical moments. I'm willing to offer the first person emailing me will get it for free.
What?
Then I will send that. Yeah, I absolutely. I'm honestly.
I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to email you so I can get that for free.
Yeah, wonderful. Just go for it.
Look.
If you are interested in your health and the health of your family,
yes,
right now, and I will give this assessment for free. Just know this, okay? So I know it's from you, and I know it's. Just make sure you email me right while I'm still being interviewed, so that this pretty much offer is gone once the interview is over.
Okay, so people, go ahead and email Paula, because I'm not going to email her while I'm interviewing her. That's rude.
I will offer this for you afterwards only because you interviewed me.
Thank you. So go ahead and email Paula at HealWithPaula@gmail.com to get that assessment for free. I think that's amazing. Paul, you were talking about how some people would have a headache and they have no idea. They just think that's I get them all the time. You know, like I've heard that so much, right? I get them all the time. So they pop a pill and temporarily get rid of the symptom. Now, I know a lot of people who have trouble sleeping, and they just say, "Oh, I've always been that way." Is that something? Yeah, is that something that you've seen with your patients?
Absolutely. You know, it's interesting you brought up sleeping. Sleeping too much or not being able to sleep is also another sign of being stressed. And believe it or not, honestly, try it. If you ever experience like going to bed and not being able to sleep, hold your hand, one on your chest, right in the middle of the chest where the heart lays, and one on top of your belly button, and take 3 deep inhalation and exhalations. The breath, simple full breath that I just told you, the one earlier that we practiced together. Do those 3 breaths with holding your chest with one hand and your belly button with the other. You will fall asleep.
Just 3, Paula? Are you serious? Wow.
I mean, you all come to do it longer if after 3 you feel you don't feel yet in that state, you know, the dopey state of I want to sleep now. But honestly, just breathing before you go to bed, you will help you sleep better.
Amazing. Wow. Yeah. These little things. Paula, can I ask you, what's been one of the most memorable experiences you've had healing a patient? Can you share that?
Most memorable. Well, I'm going to stick with, I have many. I've been in practice for 15 years. But give me a second here. I'm going to be thinking of something that's related to what I'm teaching. So that way, you know, it makes sense.
I'm sure you've had a lot of people reach out to you over the years. I mean, 15 years doing this, that's a long time. But, you know, someone coming to you and say, "Oh my God, you changed my life," right? I mean, you gave me my health back. You gave me my life back. You gave me my vitality back. That must feel so satisfying, so fulfilling.
It is, Dela. It's absolutely amazing, and that has happened many, many occasions. I remember now. I had this gentleman who came and had all kinds of health issues. Was on many prescription medication, and was under a lot of stress with work, with family, and honestly, we just these 2 simple things that I've mentioned: staying hydrated, drinking, sipping water, and breathing. Before I even got into a full assessment and a full homeopathic consultation with him, just by those 2, his health improved 75%. And also, he lowered his medication by just these 2. We underestimate the importance of hydration and breathing consciously. We actually underestimate it. We think, "Oh my gosh, what's that?" Like, really?
Yeah.
Just try it for a day and please get back to me. Try it for 1 day and get back to me. Now, those are just 2 of the things that are impacting us in our health right now due to the coronavirus. And this brings me back to I thought of one other thing that is really, really important as well is fight, flight, freeze state. I'm sure you have heard about flight, fight.
Yes. Fight, flight, freeze state, yes.
So, when we are experiencing acute stresses, like I'm going to give you an example now, such as when you are in situations that, for example, you are in the airplane and there is bad turbulation, or you get into a car accident, or someone jumps in front of you from a dark room, we automatically get into this flight-fight state. And in these circumstances, this is absolutely normal, because this state is naturally triggered in such circumstances by our hormones, prompting us naturally to be alert, either stay and fight, or run away. So when it gets tricky is when we get into this state during a non-threatening situation. When you're writing an exam, or you have to pay your bills, or you're going to work, and you're experiencing these sensations, right? When there is an imbalance and we react involuntarily as if somebody is after us, right? Or as if for real there is a survival threat there. And when we stay in this free state for a prolonged period of time, that is when our systems collapse. And that results in all kinds of complications.
Yes.
Heart problems, emotions and feelings that are irrational,
Psychotic episodes, right, Paula?
Yeah, all kinds of, again, irrational behavior and emotional upheaval. And we stay, it's sad, but most of us stay in this state, or are pretty much, this is our regular state, day in and day out, for months, for years. We're not even aware of it. We're not aware of the fact that normally when we experience a threat, it's normal for the next maybe 20 to 60 minutes max to be in that state of fight, flight, freeze. But after that, we're supposed to come back to our normal senses. And for some reason, we don't. That's when you know there is something that it's an underlying cause there, that we are unaware of it. It's bottled up.
Wow.
That brings me back to a say that Aristotle, the Greek philosopher, wrote, and he said it beautifully. And you'll understand in a second why I'm bringing this up. He said that nothing causes as much damage to our body as long physical inactivity.
Ooh.
So, you know how I said earlier that I had a dream to dance?
Yes.
And I had a heart condition, and there is no way my mom would have said, my mom said, actually, no, you can't. There is no way you can do this. First of all, we didn't have the money. I had the heart condition. I could have died. So in that moment, when I was taking my breath and I realized that I'm going to either dance or die, there is no other way. I was watching these ballerinas on TV with my mom. I made my personal decision to engage in physical movement. Now, the challenge was I was not well. So my mom, there is no way she would have accepted, right? So she said, no, absolutely not. Now, she may have said it because we, again, have the money, there were so many health risks. But I decided in that moment to consciously move towards my dream. I'm not kidding, actually. I started dancing, and I found ways. When my mom said, no, this is not possible, I started thinking, okay, so I have to find a way. I have to find a way. So I reached out to an aunt, and then I made sure that I've explained to her that, look, this is a serious secret. No one can know about it, not even my mom. And she took me to this exam for this private art school. I remember going into this audition room, and shortly after I was rejected because of my appearance, because, you know, you could see from far away that I didn't come from these rich neighborhoods, you know. And in that moment, I could have chosen to just freeze, stop moving, and stop right there and then. So I was rejected through the door, and guess what?
Tell me.
Instead of
Tell me.
instead of getting into this freeze flight state, right, and feeling sorry for myself, I stopped, I took a deep breath, and looking around, I saw this window that was open. Once I realized that window was the exam room, I actually jumped right in. And at that very moment, I kid you not, at that very moment, they were playing one of my favorite piano songs. Though I was tempted to freeze again because I'm like, oh my gosh, what have I done? They kicked me out through the door, and here I'm jumping through the window. This is crazy, right? I started dancing instead of like I was in a shock, I think, but instead of staying still, I went right into the middle of the room and I started dancing.
Oh my God.
Honestly, I was hoping, okay, they must see that I am made to dance, you know, I'm gonna die on the dance floor. There is no way I'm gonna leave this room unless I'm gonna get accepted into this school, you know? So what made the most sense for me in that moment was to move, to not stay still, to not freeze. So believe it or not, that's exactly how I decided in that moment. I decided that I'm going to commit my life to help people live the life of their dreams, no matter what kind of stresses or challenges might be in their way.
Wow.
You know?
What a little girl you were, Paula.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Like imagine that.
The resilience, right? Amazing.
Absolutely. I don't take no for an answer, you know? I don't accept no.
That's determination. I love that story.
Thank you.
So nice. Oh wow. Paula, we've been talking for 54 minutes.
Oh dear. The time
I love that. See, this is determination. We made this happen.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love what you bring. I love your stories. I want to do this again, this time with your beautiful face on camera, because I know that everyone would want that too. Connect with Paula at HealWithPaula@gmail.com to get that assessment for that she's offering for free. If you connect with her right now, she'll give that for free. Get a handle on your stress level.
Absolutely.
Find out what's happening right now. Find out how you're feeling right now. This is a big problem. The stress in our lives is the real pandemic. We need to get a handle on that.
And remember, stay hydrated.
Take
deep breath. Find way to move. Even sometimes physical move is extremely important, but so is mental. You know, it's your thought process, that movement too. So ask yourself, what makes the most sense for you today? What actions can you take right now to increase the odds of your best possible life? And yeah, absolutely. Remember, I'm giving that free assessment. Take advantage. You know what? The first thing that will go on the email and right now send me a full email with a full name with a subject-free assessment. Also add your a phone number that can be used, your best phone number that can be reached at, because with this assessment, I also offer about 20 minutes or so of review, and that would be also of no cost.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you, Paula.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh my gosh, you're so welcome, and thank you, Paula. I'm so excited that I was able to interview you. You have so much knowledge, and you have so much love to give, and I just enjoyed so much talking to you. So please reach out to Paula, send her an email, get with this, HealWithPaula@gmail.com, and get that assessment done, and start living your best life. Thank you.
And Dela, I
Yes.
welcome questions. If anyone has questions, if anyone has heard something in this interview we had today, and somehow think that there is some things in somehow that I said something that it triggered something else, and they wanted to know, but we haven't discussed here, please feel free to send us questions, either through Dela's voice on Facebook or through HealWithPaula@gmail.com. I welcome questions.
Thank you.
I'm here to serve you guys, and I'm here to offer my help related to health and wellness.
I appreciate that, Paula. People will be watching this later, and they'll hear your voice. And if you have any questions, please put them down in the comment section. We'll be sure to reach out and answer those questions. Reach out to Paula, HealWithPaula@gmail.com, with your full name and a phone number where you can be reached at, so that you can get that free assessment with her. And Paula, if there's anything else, let me know. If not, we'll call it a night and we'll say goodbye until next time.
Well, Dela, I just realized that I'm not sure that people know what I do. We haven't really covered that. A little bit in your introduction.
Yeah, yes, in my introduction, but go ahead and tell people, please.
So I feel blessed to be a heart-based healing expert, and I'm a regulated professional homeopath. I'm trained in body talk and reflexotherapy, lifestyle microscopy, nutrition. And I use health coaching to help you activate your body's innate wisdom and ability to heal itself naturally. People I've helped have said to me that I've helped them with regaining their confidence, restoring their health, while rebuilding a life worth living in peace and harmony with themselves and those around them. Which, if you ask me, is such a wonderful gift. I could have not asked for a better blessing, honestly.
Amazing.
And thank you so much, Dela. Thank you for having me. And I look forward to the next interview where we can actually see each other face to face.
Yes, thank you so much for being such a good sport, and still doing this interview, even though it didn't work out with the camera. But you're so wonderful, and your knowledge has no boundaries or no limits. So we appreciate that, Paula. Thank you so much. And so I want to thank everyone who tuned in tonight to hear this interview, and I hope that you got as much of this as I did. There was a lot of information and valuable lessons in this talk. Thank you again, everybody. Have a good night. Stay safe. As always, this is Dela's voice, hoping to spark your soul. Till next time.
Amazing. Good night.
Good night.